Hello, everyone, and we are live on a Tuesday night, which feels weird, but it feels right because we were not able to go live the past 9 days. So I know we missed you guys, so hopefully you missed us as well. But with the holiday weekend, it's to be expected, some different schedule than normal. So we're going to talk about our Labor Day weekend. And it's funny, Darren, as I created the thumbnail for tonight's podcast, I put Memorial Day. I always get those two.
Me too. I said that during dinner, and they all laughed at me.
Yeah, and I think why it's in my head is because just driving around town, there's an abundance of flags everywhere, and it's like that's not Labor Day's purpose, but it's cool. But so I think it's just in my head that it's Memorial Day, so I always get those two mixed up. But it is what it is. And we're gonna talk about what you did. I'd love to hear how your 3-day weekend went, and we'll go over what some of mine did too as well. But before you share about Nashville Tax Solutions and our awesome sponsors over there, I have to share. So I reached out to Chris this evening just to say hello, as I do once a week at least, sometimes twice, just to see how he's doing and all that. And he's currently at a Tampa Bay Buccaneers party with Tom Brady. Is the
why not?
Why not? I was gonna do that, but I was like, nah, So
well, listen, I don't want to brag. He's with Tom Brady. I'm with a Fresca, so it's almost the same thing.
Yes, almost the same thing. One's refreshing, the other one's not. So
yes, I know. But he's. Listen, Chris Bennett is the man. It just is.
He is. You can't deny it. And make sure you guys will get a chance to see him at the Christmas extravaganza after, of course, you check out our booth, the On the Ballpark podcast. But make sure you hop over to their booth and get some great stuff that they have there and meet his whole team that'll be there. So
he is a bon vivant. He is a man about town.
Absolutely. And so we have to share the goodness that is Nashville Tax Solutions, Darren. So take it away. Let our viewers know what we are talking about.
Palm Bay and Fort Pierce. Are tax problems weighing you down? Are you behind on filings? Are you facing a lien? Nashville Tax Solutions here with the expertise and dedication you need. Their experienced team handles the IRS, so you don't have to. But don't just hear it from us, because clients do say it best, such as Chris Bennett and his team turned a nightmare into peace of mind. They're sharp, they're honest, and you can tell that they really and truly care. So don't let tax stress take over your life. Today, call 855-627-4829. Visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com today. Nashville Tax Solutions, real help and real results.
Thank you. And, I know it is the month of September, but that is a service that is needed year-round. It's not just, by the tax deadline. This is a service that can benefit you 365 days a year. So definitely take advantage. Don't just take our word for it. Find out for yourself. Go ahead and give them a call, and they will assist any need that you have in that matter. Darren, I have to start tonight. Before I want to ask about your weekend first, but before we do, have you ever heard of Grok? Do you know what Grok is? Grok.
Grokowski?
No, not Grokowski. I didn't know what it was till a couple weeks ago. So it's on X. It's basically like another AI technology. If you put @Grok, you can ask it a question. Like there was these silly rumors about what Donald Trump's thing was going to be today about. And so you could do @Grok, is this true? Or @Grok, who is one of the most popular trends is @Grok, who is the most famous person that has checked out our profile on X or things like that.
Ooh, I like that.
We had a guest on not too long ago. Unfortunately, Darren, you weren't able to make it that evening. So my buddy Mike Clark joined us as the special guest. And this was for Sean Rash, actually, from the PBA Tour, was our guest on that episode. And we talked all things bowling, everything from all his 300 games to all of his accomplishments, his rich, his one thing we always love talking about is like, what's your routine before you have a big night of whatever it is that you're going to be doing. That stuff we talked about. What do you think you would get if you had a house ball? If you're bowling, like, could you get a 300 with a house ball? Fun little things like that. Questions that he's probably not asked. That's what we like to do here on the show, is switch things up just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't heard, and maybe not everybody knows exactly what this is per se, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it up on the screen here. But there you go. So Sean Rash, part of the PBA Tour. This is hot off the press as of August 31st. So 2 days ago, wins 2025 Storm Lucky Larson's Masters. Those that don't know what it is, this is an event that took place in Sweden with all the world's best bowlers in one place. He was actually battling a hand injury, but still pulled through, and that's him there in the yellow in the center. And so shout out to Sean. I know
that is outstanding.
So so Sean, thank you for watching along, and we're just so honored to celebrate the accomplishment with you. I know you've done some pretty cool things already, but that's just another one in the bank for you, sir. So just wanted to share that. That's super, super cool.
That's very cool.
Not too long ago, and hopefully we can have him back on, Darren, so you can meet him in the foreseeable future. I'm sure that we will.
So, I love that.
Yep. So Darren, let me. I know it could be a blur sometimes, but go ahead and your Labor Day weekend, the highs, the lows, the in betweens. What you got?
Okay. First of all, I must say, like you would before an award show, who are you wearing today? The Cincinnati Tigers of the Negro League. Loved it. Loved this shirt. Love this jersey. It's really, really cool. So it's just one.
I love that. I thought it was Cincinnati, but I wasn't sure if you were going Reds or where you're going. That's until you stood up, so I got to see all that.
Yeah,
so
you see,
we're
battling. We're battling the Reds. I know you went to see them live, but we're battling the Reds for that wild card spot. So I'm not wearing any Reds, but I will wear Cincinnati Tigers. So anyway, so a couple.
And
go ahead.
Shout out real quick because you mentioned them. Shout out real quick to Ed and Tommy, who are both watching. But as of right now, it is Blue Jays 10, Cincinnati 8, and the Mets just went up on the Tigers 12-2 in the looks like later part, 7th or 8th inning of the game. So 12-2. Another home run for Soto, 2 more home runs for Alonso tonight. So they're wheeling and dealing. Looks like McLean's going to get his 4th win in his 4th start. He already broke the record with 3 wins as a rookie. Now he's going to go to 4. We could just figure out Minaya. If we could just figure out Senga, we'd really be in great shape. Because one thing that gets lost in all this, the Mets struggling and not whatever, this has been one of the best offensive productions of any team all season.
Absolutely.
Last 3 weeks. That definitely shouldn't get lost in the shuffle. But go ahead, Darren. Take away with your weekend.
So here's my weekend. First of all, it was lovely, and I hope everyone had a safe and happy Labor Day. But I had to work. So I worked on Friday, and I was on, and it was lovely, and it's great helping the people that we do. Don't get me wrong. But I was on call on Saturday, and I have a wonderful staff, and it just was great. But I had to work a 24-hour shift. So I worked a 24-hour shift, and not once but twice, alarms went off in the middle of the night, accidentally, no big deal. So then the next day on Sunday, I was able to go to church, and then I worked on Sunday. So I was exhausted by the time I came home Sunday night. Now, here's the thing. My Fighting Irish lost to Miami. Miami was clearly the better team. I was disappointed with the Mets losing to the Marlins. You can't lose to the Marlins. See, that's the difference.
No, but we always lose to bad teams. So give us all the.
Yes, that's my point. What is that?
Yes. Yep. Swept the Phillies and 2 in a row against the Tigers. So.
What is and for those of you who are watching and please type in, let us know. What is that psychological deal where you play to the level of your opponents? Whatever happened to beating the team you're supposed to beat and then doing battle against the really good teams? the Mets seem to lay down psychologically against these inferior teams, and it's not a lot of fun. And then Monday, I slept. Oh, it was glorious. You know, it was glorious. I slept. I got up. Oh, you know what else I went to do? Kids playing at home. So 2 weeks ago, I went to Martha's Vineyard, which is a wonderful place, and people should go. It's wonderful, touristy, sure, but lovely. Inkwell Beach, just great. Love it. But also, Jaws was filmed there, and now it's the 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws. So I went back to watch it on the big screen. It was wonderful. What a great way during Labor Day weekend to go see
And
it.
when you hear that, you're like, no, 50 years. But yes, 50 years.
We're old. Oh, I am.
Because I always look at it because I was born in '81. So that the main fisherman guy, I forget his name. He actually passed in '79, which is crazy to me. Like he's this big, part of the movie and everything. And it's like, wow, he passed before I was even born. It just really puts things in perspective. But yes, 50 years. Great franchise. Even Jaws 2 doesn't get enough love. Obviously 3 and 4 were what they were.
Right.
So no, that's awesome. And I see Emily there. You said you went looking for a grinder for coffee for stores before we can find one. I wonder, Emily, if you're still watching with us, was the store that you settled in, did you find it at Rose's by chance? See, Rose's is like that store where, like, if you can't find it at the big places, you can find it there. So I'm curious if that's where it was, or if you wound up having to go to Walmart after all. I always try to avoid Walmart like the plague, if it's at all possible, just because it's always chaos there. But let us know in the chat, of course.
Right.
Well, it's a bummer that you had to work most of the weekend. But so when you do those, I know you've mentioned before, but those I don't know. So when you say that you work the 24-hour shift, you're not like physically awake for the 24, but you're basically on site for that.
Well, you're on site, and so what happens is you're on site, and then somebody stays awake. If you're by yourself, depending on the house and some of the things, is it a more ambulatory? If it's ambulatory, you got to stay up. So if it's not, you theoretically can try to get some sleep, but you always sleep with one eye open, right? Because you got to be there. You're providing a service, and you have to be there and help people. But and then what I like to do is I get up around. If I do sleep, I like to get up around 4:30, 5 o'clock, get everything ready, and it's okay. Time moves, and then but I was able to get in time to get to services, and then had about 3 hours before when the next shift started, and I went. You put a change of clothes in the back of your car, and you just have at it.
That's awesome.
How about you? What was your weekend like?
So on Saturday, our plans got changed last minute. So we wound up having, so that was like a relaxing day. We try to make Saturdays our like do nothing. If we do something, do it together kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So we literally had a pool day from morning till night. It was very, very relaxing. The entire evening, the entire day. We I think until it was like too hot where we had to come in. But we just bought this. Rose's did not have it, so that's unfortunate. But at least you got to go to Target. You hopefully got to avoid Walmart. Yeah. But so I bought one of these Bluetooth speakers. They like change colors and stuff, but you put them in the pool and it floats around in the pool, kind of like the chlorine tab thing. Yeah. So it just floats around. So that
by the way is the word. That's exactly what it's called, right?
Yes,
exactly. The chlorine tab thing.
Yes, exactly. So we were listening to music pretty much until the thing died. The battery died.
Oh, that's great.
Put that around, so that was fantastic. We also bought a umbrella to put over the pool, which was really, really nice because it does get really hot, and sometimes the water is still like bath water. But it fell on my head. It was nicely there, but it didn't come with any stakes or anything. So we put some cinder blocks around it to kind of secure it as best as we could, and then it just fell on top of my head. And I don't know what came in me, but for like 3 to 5 seconds, I lost it, and I started Mike Tyson. Like I just started and it was just like, oh, come on, I was so relaxed, So We take the thing apart. We have to figure it out. I think we're gonna have to find some legit stakes that will go into the little holes that are part of
Mm-hmm.
the wheels of that. So hopefully that works out because it's a really cool thing. And then our neighbor, they're like matching us. They still haven't gotten in their pool. The ones 2 houses down that put a pool up because they see us in it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did they put the pool up, they got their ladder, they got their new floaty to match the floaties we have. So it's like a competition, but I don't know why they don't go in the pool. I thought maybe that would be cool if they like got inside of it because they put the
Right.
ladder there and everything. But I think they just want it as a display at this point.
I would say maybe it's just AI.
Yes, but I feel so bad because ours is by no means level all the way. Like I'm gonna admit it was 100 billion degrees. I didn't have the patience to like 100% level a thing, but it's about 92%. But
Right.
these people,
Which
they
is
put down
enough.
the tarp, which I wish I would have done, but they didn't try to do anything else. So the pool is lopsided already. It's not even been 10 days. I feel so bad, but we know what's going to happen to that pool before you know it. So, so that was our Saturday. It was really just pool, music, just a nice, relaxing day, as it should have been. Then it got kind of crazy on Sunday with the
Right. It's
2
a work day.
services.
Mhm.
Went to lunch, and then we had 2 staff meetings in a row from 4:30 to 6:30, back to back. That went a little late, and then we have an annual tradition every year where Joe, I'm not sure if you're on watching just yet, but Joe and Abigail's, we go to their place every year on the Sunday of Labor Day weekend because that's the one night where we don't have to work the next day. So
Are they home? Do they know?
what? Yep, they were
Are
home.
they even
Yes,
home? They're home. Yeah.
they were.
Hey.
They're about 30 minutes north of us, but it was a downpour. So by the time we got there just when the show started. So we didn't get to do our normal hot tub pool outdoor food thing that we usually do, but we watched it inside. He ordered some pizzas. We had a great time. So I love those little traditions. Like even if it's just
Me too.
going there once a year to watch a show, like we don't talk at all when the show is on. Like we're like silent. And then as soon as it goes to commercial, we're just like chatty Cathy's and doing our thing. And then we stayed another hour, just kind of, just kind of broke down the episode and all that good stuff. So that was a lot of fun. So, but it was, by the time I got home, I crashed hard. And like you said, you slept Monday. I think I woke up at 10:45 on Monday morning, which
is weird
I
for
don't know
both
about
of
you,
us.
but like you get that anxiety when you're walking from the bed to your phone to find out the time because you're like,
Yeah.
is it 5 p.m? Like,
Did I miss a day?
you look at it and you get the crust out of your eyes. You're like,
Yep.
is it really 10:54? So then we went to what's called the Sebastian Inlet. So it's basically like the beach, but it's kind of cool because you have the beach on one side, but then you have this inlet on the other where sometimes you can see dolphins, manatees, you can swim with the fishes, stuff like that. Upon the amount of things that we saw, I put it in the header of the JPEG image of the video. The first thing we saw, and we can go to the beach 85,000 more times and we'll never see this. We're walking down the stairs to the beach, and the first thing we see on our right-hand side by the stairs is a shark's head.
No.
We didn't take our phones out because it was like at the bottom of the bag and we were on this hike and stuff. So I wish I would have. But yeah, just a shark's head. I don't know who thought, let me just cut the head off of a shark and leave it right by the stairs. But that's what happened. Some flies around there. It was pretty whatever. But yeah, that was the first visual within seconds. So then we find a nice little spot and everything like that. And we're all talking. All of a sudden, Eileen is gone and Mark and Heather are gone. And I'm sitting there talking to this guy, Jerry. And they're like, when I say gone, they're like way down the beach. And so I'm looking, I'm like, what happened? Like that they did that. So of course it piqued my curiosity. So I eventually walked over there. And apparently in that short amount of time, there was a girl who was swimming too close to this bridge thing. And the current basically took her under the bridge to the other side, but she got scraped and cut everywhere. It was really bad. They got her out safely and stuff. So that happened. And then they caught a humongous, this other couple that was right by them caught this humongous red fish. It wasn't a red heron, but it was a massive red fish, which was kind of cool. And then there was a sea turtle that was destined to go to the ocean, and it kept walking closer and closer. And so they were trying to like steer it in a different direction. And it looked like it was going to be safe. And then this one guy picked it up and started carrying it we're like, no, don't do that, and so
Hmm.
that was a sight to see, because you don't really ever get to see that either.
No.
And so all that happened, and then we're getting splashed on the bridge every 5 seconds from from the waves when you hit the wall. So it was just a lot of action in like a short amount of time. So it was really cool. And
I'm glad the girl was okay.
yeah, thankfully it was just scrapes, but it was pretty rough. But so it was a blast though. We stayed a couple of hours. By the time again we got home, I was like, there's a difference between being tired versus being sun tired. Like when you're in the sun all day, that hits you like you don't even need to like pull the covers over. You're just like, I'm just gonna lay here. And I'm bad sometimes. I'll leave my glasses on. I'm like, nope, take those off, because I was out like it.
Oh, yeah.
So but fantastic weekend. Honestly, it was a good mix of like chill, and then the middle of it was kind of busy.
Well, that's great.
Oh, and Emily, and speaking of Kevin, so Emily mentioned that she celebrated Kevin's 65th birthday. I would never believe 65. That's crazy. So Kevin, if you remember, Darren was Kevin Smith was our guest for the Cleveland Browns last year when we did our Browns episode. So we'll have to have him back on, and we'll have you on, Emily, too. We haven't had you on yet, so just stay tuned. We'll be in touch, because I know you're a if I'm not mistaken, Emily, you are an Eagles fan, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly, or is it Steelers? I'm pretty sure it's one of the two, but let me know in the chat, because I hate to say Eagles if you're Steelers, because but I think I'm right. So that was that weekend. A lot going on, and like I said in the beginning of the video, to clarify, it was Labor Day weekend, not Memorial Day. So if I text you the link and it said Memorial Day, I just got them mixed up.
So let's ask Emily, since we're just talking and she's a Steeler fan, how does she feel about the whole Aaron Rodgers thing?
That's a great question. And Heather, thank you, Heather, for watching us. Heather, we were just sharing about our fun experience with you guys at the beach or at the inlet, with so many things happening in a short amount of time. So that was fun sharing that. I still can't get over the shark's head as soon as we walked on the beach. That was crazy. But yes, we really did. We were fortunate enough to go with them just 2 weeks ago to SeaWorld and had an awesome time. And then we got to spend the day yesterday together. So couldn't be happier to spend it with such great people. Now it's already September and it's fall season. I'm ready for my first pumpkin spice something. I tried getting it once and they were out of it, as Dunkin' Donuts always is out of everything all the time. But I'm ready for my first pumpkin spice something. Are you a pumpkin spice person? I forgot if I've asked you that before.
Okay, so here's the thing. I am pro pumpkin spice. Here's my but. Oh, however, not everything needs to be pumpkin spice. So it's like I don't need like the pumpkin spice barbecue sauce. Can we not have that? Can we not have the pumpkin spice, I don't know, cereal? I just did like oatmeal, great, terrific, love that. The fact that it's with a nice cappuccino, a nice espresso, a nice Americano, nice. Love that. Maybe, like I said, with some oatmeal, but not with like my cologne. Yeah.
Yes. Right. Because they do. It's an extreme. Like the aisle starts off with things that are normal, and then it gets a little bit crazy.
This is not a joke. I tell you this. So Saturday, again, I did the 24 hours, and it was about 11 o'clock at night. So I wanted to have a coffee, stay, alert. And it had the pumpkin spice creamer. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And it was pumpkin spice creamer, oat milk mixed with soy milk. And like, I think I have both of those are lovely. And I have oat milk all the time. I have soy milk all the time, but never together in pumpkin spice. I was like, where does it end?
There has to be there has
to be a line. And another thing are you violating some town ordinance somewhere prior to September 1st, pumpkin spice? Because it's starting to creep into like August 28th.
Early August or mid August.
Oh my gosh, what's going on? Like now, bring it on.
Yeah, here was at least the 13th or 14th, I want to say, that they started it. It's sooner and sooner. I'm surprised, but I first started seeing it was the Little Debbie snacks. I think it was where it was like the zebra cakes turn into pumpkin cakes or whatever, and you always see it there. But Dunkin' Donuts, like, and put it in the chat, guys. I'm curious because Darren, you're a coffee connoisseur too. If I don't know if you have a 7 brew by you, but if you have all your options, for me, Dunkin' Donuts has turned into like the equivalent of like gas station coffee, and not good gas station coffee, but like
unfortunately,
bad gas station that doesn't have anything you're looking for kind of gas station.
So here's the thing: I used to love Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and I'll still drink it a lot because it's here, especially where I live in Massachusetts. They're everywhere. But the truth is, they better up their game because they really fell.
Yeah, you don't touch, like, you almost have to, for it to be good, you almost have to drink it and then stir it, like just hold it and squish it around and then just keep drinking, because the second you let it lay for like 10 seconds, it's not. And I see she says she loves her quarterback. Amy says she loves her quarterback. So but yeah, let us know, guys, in the chat if you are a pumpkin spice person or not, if you're for it, if you're against it. We have another regular of the show wants to chime in here with his perspective on pumpkin spice. So there you go. He's a fan apparently of the pumpkin spice ice cream is the way to go apparently for our little friend.
He's my favorite. I just feel better. I feel better when he's with us.
He's always there. He's just
Heather's not a fan.
Working in the shadows. Yep.
Heather is not a fan.
Not a fan. Okay. I think there was overexposure too. That might be it for some people, but it's it's not everybody's thing. I won't drink it from the beginning of the season until there's a point in time. I think it's like November 1st where like you put the stop, like August or September and October, but once it hits November 1st, then it's peppermint spice.
You gotta go peppermint. You gotta go peppermint
and all that good stuff. So, is Dunkin'? Totally okay, here's a great question from.
Yes, I was going to ask you. Is he right?
Is Dunkin' coffee better or worse than cruise ship coffee? It's better than cruise ship coffee, but that's like saying, is it better to be uppercut or kicked in the shins? Like they're both not good. But if I had to choose, Dunkin' would win just because they have flavored creamers and stuff. A lot of these, the cruise ship, you get the original and I just can't do the original cream, like just the plain original or whatever. It just doesn't do it for me. So I would say by a slim margin, Dunkin's better than that for sure. I would say. I
love the churros. I love churros, by the way. Love churros.
Churros are amazing. Yep. The bigger, the better of those for sure. Yes. That's turned into like a theme park thing for me too. If it's available, I'll try to. And
give me a churro over that whole turkey leg. I don't want to be walking around with the turkey leg. Just
right.
No.
So the turkey leg looks better than it tastes. I don't think anyone's ever taken a bite and said scrumptious. Like they take their bite and they're like, that's not what I was imagining. No. I don't know what they were imagining, but
not that.
Yeah. And it says Wawa used to have churro hot chocolate. That's interesting. And Mark mentions shout out for Juice and Java Cocoa Beach Coffee. Yes. And Mark, that is, I'm sure that's true. And I'm glad that I have not had it yet because it gives me something to look forward to out that way. Where is that located? Is that because we're actually going to be out that way Saturday. I've got a gift for Eileen like 7 months ago, and it finally is this weekend. So we're going to be out the Cocoa Beach way. So let us know where that is so we can maybe stop by there because we'll need a little pick me up before the game. So.
Well, actually, you just brought another question because I'm old. But the first thing I wanted to ask you is this: and I need your honesty, and people chime in, please. Am I antisocial because what I love, because I love coffee, right? And I love sitting with people and communicating and just having a wonderful conversation with them or reading a book or whatever. But I love that first cup of coffee by myself, just me and my thoughts. Is that bad?
No. What do you call it? It's not at all. It's it's something about it where it's just like, okay, in like 8 minutes everything's gonna start happening, and so you don't want to drink it too quickly, but you almost start to because you're like, okay. But yes.
Yeah.
Oh, downtown. Okay, downtown Cocoa Beach. And I know that you go there once a month. And Mark, if you wouldn't mind sharing in the chat what you do when you go there once a month. But I don't remember what week that it is there. So if you wouldn't mind sharing that in the chat. And Eddie, Eddie's been reaching out. Eddie, if you're watching, I will give you a call back. But 75 North Orlando Avenue. Okay, thank you.
All right, I have a TV trivia question.
Okay.
You ready? Because you brought it up. It's from a television show I used to watch as a kid. You might be able to watch it on Nickelodeon or something like that, or one of these My TV type of channels. One of the stars of the show just celebrated their 94th birthday. Here are the clues. Ready? Cocoa Beach, Major Healy. Those are the hints. People out there, Major Healy, Cocoa Beach, one of the stars just celebrated their 94th birthday.
94th birthday. I was ready for a lot of directions that I thought you might go, but that was not one of them. So I'm going to pass to my chat.
That's right. Mark just got it. Mark got it.
Okay.
Mark got it. Well done.
Okay. Oh, Heather just got it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Barbara Eden just celebrated her 94th birthday.
Wow. 94th birthday. That's my goal in life, is I want to get my final base hit when I'm 94. God bless him. There's a guy in our softball league. I think he's 81 years old, and I don't think I've seen him make connection with the bat once in the last 4 seasons, but he is trying so hard.
Oh, I love
One day he's going to make it happen.
You know what's going to happen, right?
What?
Here's what's going to happen, because Mark and Heather were just telling me this was going to happen. They just texted me. The gentleman is going to finally rip a double, but at the same time, right before he makes contact, the manager's going to call timeout.
Yes, exactly. Or, because I'll tell you now, because I'm catcher, if he hits the ball right in front of the plate, I'm throwing that ball into right field. I'm putting out there now. He will get on first base. I
love that.
So Mark mentions J&J, so Juice and Java Night of Worship, the first Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Love that. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make it out there. It is also the night of youth for my daughter, so I always have to take her that same evening and wouldn't make it back in time. But I will. There will be a way. I will get there. I'm sure there'll be a week where there's no GC. But it's an awesome time. They speak very highly of that event and just people coming together. But yeah, first Wednesday every month, 7 p.m., Cocoa Beach. It's worth the drive. If you're in the Palm Bay area, it's worth the drive. Absolutely. So I love that. And yes, absolutely. I'm sure that their coffee is better than Dunkin' or the cruise the cruise ship. You can now on the cruise ship you can get Starbucks, but you got to pay extra. The free coffee that you get is what's not great. I think I just want to check here. The Mets game, I believe, is bottom of the 8th now, 12-2. The Mets are ahead in that one, and the Reds are down 11-8 in the top of the 8th. So if the Mets hold on, which they should hold on. I mean, they're winning 12-2, but Ryan Stanek, I don't think he's pitched yet, so we'll see.
Who knows?
But if the Reds
serve him up Soto, the pitcher. Oh my gosh,
Luis Turin. So, no, did you see that there's a guy on the Marlins that is 7 times he's pitched this season? Like, there's no reason for that. Like,
no.
But yeah, if the Mets win tonight, they'll be 5 games up on the Cincinnati Reds for that final wild card spot. So
We need
super
that.
cool. Yeah. So yes, Emily, go Mets. And I was bummed that I'm grateful that we get to do this podcast. Unfortunately, we got quote unquote rained out of softball. It stopped raining at 1:15. And thank you, Emily, drove to the field for me to make sure that what the city said was accurate. Now, could they have gotten those fields up to speed? Yes, it would have taken some dirt and a little bit of raking, maybe 17 to 18 minutes worth, and we would have been good to play. But they saw the fields and were like, nah, I'm going to go home. So unfortunately, no rain by me at least since 2:00, and we didn't get to play. But I get to do this, so it's still a win-win. So it's just the more and more weeks we don't play, the more rusty we get, and all that kind of stuff. But yes, I appreciate it. Thanks again.
So Heather's a Reds fan. I got a question for her.
Yes. So Heather,
she says go Reds. So she's a So she's a Reds fan.
Yes. I don't know if she bleeds.
Well, how does she feel about you going to see Cincinnati play this year?
She was excited for me. I know they wanted to come along with. I think they did get to go 2 months later for a couple of weeks to the area. They did the big July 4th Red, White, and Boom event they had over there in Ohio. But yeah, she grew up in Ohio. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So
it was when we had Heather and Mark on. I think it was the Ohio State and Notre Dame.
Yes.
That happened. So watched a lot in the past. Yeah, it's kind of an old school vibe. Like when you go there, there's not a ton of like a lot of the booths there for food and stuff are like old school. Like it's hard to explain, but there's not a ton. Like you get the good. Like they just basically give you the good stuff. There's not a lot of pomp and circumstance or anything.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes all you need is a hot dog. So
yeah, that's true. Maybe a bun. Maybe,
yes.
Because you don't want to just hold a hot dog. It can hurt your fingers, and you can burn yourself, and you don't want to do that.
No, you do not.
No. So, what is the most non-traditional item you've ever eaten at a sporting event?
The most non-traditional thing I've had at a sporting event? It was in St. Lucie. I know that. And shout out to St. Lucie Mets. Not only did they win the first half of the league, and those that don't know minor league baseball, if you win the first half of your season, you can go winless the second half of the season and you still make the playoffs. But they won the second half of the season as well. So they'll be hosting a They'll be hosting the first round of the divisional playoffs in Port St. Lucie in a couple of weeks. So that'll be really exciting. Hopefully I'll get to go. But it was in St. Lucie, and I'm trying to remember.
Now, are they A, double A, or triple A? What are they?
So they are single A. They used to be high A, which is a level right below double A. But then something happened 2 years ago where now they're not rookie, but they're lower level A. So they still have a full season, but there's mid A, high A, double A, and triple A above them. So they're like 5th on the totem pole. But they're playing phenomenal. I think I saw that they're 42 this half, so they're doing really, really well. But it was in St. Lucie, and it was wonky. I remember that. I think they were just like experimenting with things. Trying to remember exactly what in the world it was, but it was like a mixture of like there was shrimp involved, there was meatballs involved, and there was like I want to say like celery was involved. Like it was really weird, but it worked. That's all I got.
So I did and it's really nothing non-traditional about the first one, but it was so darn good. If you're ever in San Francisco, when you go to a Giant game, which is just a beautiful ballpark, garlic fries, you must get the Gilroy fries. They're amazing, but fries are traditional. But the fact that they were garlic fries kind of was new to me. But then people were like, no, this is traditional. But I went to a Dodger game at Dodger Stadium, and sushi, and I just felt weird. It felt wrong. Sushi at the ball game. It just felt wrong.
Yeah, that's not where. I mean, now if you were sitting inside a restaurant inside the stadium having it, maybe it wouldn't be as weird as it is like sitting in your seat. I remember
Correct.
going to Citi Field, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was one of the most top shelf places you could eat, and it was inside the stadium, and there were at least 500 people in there watching the television monitors of the game, and I'm like, but the stadium's right there, like
Turn around.
like they're not sitting at a bench or a thing looking over the stadium. They're just talking in this big auditorium, watching these little TVs above their head. And if you're putting that kind of money out, like you would think you'd want to stay in your seat to watch the game. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy to me, but is what it is. And just a quick plug before we continue on here. If you had not got a chance to, we just released our actually earlier today, released our third installment. We have a new installment. We do a recording called Let's Chat, and we will spin the wheel of names. You never know what we're going to be talking about. First episode was on Nolan Ryan. Episode 2 was on Iron Mike Tyson. And then today's release one was on the history of the Astrodome, which was an awesome stadium. So you want to make sure you check us out this Friday. To be released is going to be episode 4, and we're going to be talking about what is the World Cup for soccer. We haven't done a soccer episode yet. We're going to kind of break down just kind of what is the World Cup and what goes into all that, and I'm going to learn some stuff myself because I've watched some World Cup before, but not a whole lot, so that'll be fun to kind of break that down. So keep an eye out for that on Friday. It's called Let's Chat, episode number 4. So that's coming as well. And then, of course, we'll be live on Thursday night, 2 nights from tonight as well. 8:30 p.m. I do believe is the usual time for that. So just wanted to plug that. And we are double-digit viewers right now. So thank you guys for staying with us. I know it's getting closer to that, not the midnight hour, but it's getting close to 9:30. So might be a little bit late for some people, but thank you guys for sticking with us.
No, we appreciate that.
Darren, are you when I say at your age, I'm including my age in your age category. So I'm not, No,
whatever. Please don't worry about that.
But if you had an opportunity, like there was nothing going on, I know we're not anywhere near New Year's Eve yet, but are you a midnight guy on New Year's Eve, or are you like a ball drops at 8:00 at my house?
Okay, great question. As you know, I was a bouncer for forever. So I used to stay up super late, and now 9:30. Give me 9:30, 10 o'clock. That's when the ball's dropping. You know,
that's when
the ball's dropping. Because why?
Yeah, and Emily, I'm down for some kickball when it's a little bit cooler. Like once the first number of the temperatures is a 7, then I'm down. But I do see that we're going to be in the 89. I think we've dropped out of the 90s now. I think we're at 89, so we're
already in the 50s at night. So here's the weird thing. I mean, you live in a touristy area. You have Disney right near you. But
so to answer your question, or to answer that question too, for me with New Year's Eve, like we stay up till midnight, so we can high five and hug and all that kind of stuff. But the acts that are on, like, is there ever been an act in the last like 25 years that you really want to see from 11:30 to like? Are we staying up to watch?
Well, you broke up there. Staying up to watch. I'm waiting.
And so, Eileen and I had the time of our life. We went to SeaWorld a couple of years ago for New Year's Eve, and they did the own ball dropping in Sesame Street Land, and the kids didn't even want to come. So we were just adults hanging out in Sesame Street Land, and I think the ball dropped at 8:30, and we had a blast. It was awesome. They had a DJ.
That's perfect.
You did right there. Yep.
No, that's perfect. There's never been a act past. Now, like 11 to 11:15, I love watching the pretend live recording from Los Angeles when they actually recorded it like late August, like right now. And like I remember watching the Go-Go's, like the reunion, and like that was fun. But never. I remember one time, and I'm not mocking, I'm not making fun, but Mariah Carey, do people remember that from a couple of years ago? She was so lip syncing badly. It was just, I was like, why? Can we just, why? Why are you even here? Like, just play the music. It's fine. Nobody cares.
No,
But
nobody
no.
cares at all.
I think I said on the show one time, did I ever tell my New Year's Eve story?
No, you did not.
So there's nothing mean about this. And because I am not a mean person, nor was the bus driver. Bus driver knows my grandmother very well. And I used to get the bus at midnight all the time because I had to work. I was working at the City Corp Center, security, on New Year's Eve. So they let me out a little early, like 10 to 12, and the bus was there. He goes, Darren, get on the bus quick. 12:05, the ball drops. We pass 42nd Street. He stops the bus, and everybody's running toward the bus to get on the bus. He takes off, and everybody's chasing him. Wearing their hats, and the hats start falling off. And he slows down. And then he comes through, and he takes off again. He finally stopped to let him on, but it was very, very fun. And everybody took it well because he wasn't to hurt anybody, just to have some fun. But it's one of the funniest things I remember.
To be that, that's hilarious. I can't imagine. Like I know you had to be there, but I can't imagine. That's hilarious.
It was terrible.
Yes.
One guy was yelling, but he's like, I'm having some fun.
Just a quick update because we all love Ryan Stanek here on the show. It was 12-2 Mets in the bottom of the ninth. It is now 12-5, courtesy of Ryan Stanek. Appreciate you. Always giving the other team a chance to win all the time. So
did we get out of the inning, or is he still going?
No, still going. It's 12-5.
Wow.
Bottom nine. If there's a guy that could give up a 5-run home run, Ryan Stanek would be that person. He would figure out a way.
He's such a sideshow.
He is just bad. Unless I have the wrong intel and he came in to stop the bleeding. But so it is official. It is a final. So the Tigers will try to avoid the sweep tomorrow afternoon. Clay Holmes will be on the mound for the Mets. So I always like those afternoon starts because I can work while the game's on. But the Mets don't seem to do as good during the day for whatever reason. So hopefully they can turn that around tomorrow. Mom, I think you were mentioning, you said you really never liked her anyway. I think you're talking about Mariah Carey, if I'm not mistaken. So
your mother is a smart woman. You always a smart person, Marianne. You're right.
Yes. We was over there today working on her cable box down here. It's Spectrum. I don't know what your cable. We don't have cable by our house, but she has cable there. And sometimes they try to upgrade their equipment, and it's called Zumo, and it's so much worse. There's so many things, so many more clicks and things. And the last hurricane or the last storm that we had, basically some lightning went off, and it basically fried the box. And so now when she watches TV, it sounds like a robot. So we're getting her a new box. But you know how it is. Sometimes new technology, they try to upgrade something and they make it worse. So I think Zumo was a big fail. There's nothing wrong with Bright House or Spectrum or whatever you call it these days. But now, just because I know we just have like 2 or 3 minutes left. But one of the big news, I know we haven't talked a lot of sports today, and that's fun because this has been a blast. I do want to mention with ESPN, with the purchase of the WWE and all that stuff. So Peacock just had their last PLE a couple days ago with Clash in Paris. And I'll tell you what, if you get some time, watch some part of that show. There's never been a crowd in the history of anything. Like, I don't care, soccer, you could put anything in there. There's never been a crowd like there was in Paris for the show. Like, they were out of their ever-loving minds the entire evening. They blew the roof off the place. Paris always brings it because it's a new territory that the WWE really hasn't hit very much. I think they started going just last year, once or twice a year. But so ESPN now has a big event coming up called WrestlePalooza. So that'll be the first pay-per-view or premium live event on ESPN since the buying the rights out of WWE from Peacock. Peacock's still going to have the Saturday night's main event shows on there, but no longer are they going to have the whole library. So it'll be interesting to see if a lot of people get off of Peacock and move to ESPN. But even Stephanie McMahon, who is the daughter of of Vince McMahon, has on her own podcast is saying, don't purchase ESPN, get the VPN. If you live in the US, get the VPN for Canada and watch it that way. So she's even coming out right and saying that. So it'll be interesting. WWE's doing it so they could have the ESPN name with Stephen A. Smith and all that kind of stuff. It is a dead brand, and I'm hoping this helps revitalize it a little bit. But I know I don't have ESPN, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to watch.
I got a question for you. I know we got like only 2 minutes or so left, but so you wake up tomorrow. It's his serious question. You wake up tomorrow, and somebody willed you as the person, as the CEO of ESPN. Give me 3 things you would change right away.
Well, number one, I understand that there's certain sports that are more interesting than others. I'm not saying we need to give 15 minutes to volleyball on a 60-minute sports center, but if you can, if you're going to, keep showing the same sports center 5 times in a row, and then the next show and the next show, you have to spread out the content a lot better. And so you have to promote the sports that you're showing on your own station, mind you, needs to have that equality. So I would say, let's think outside the box. Let's maybe do 90 to 120 minute sports centers if that's what it takes. So that if there is a game, if it's a
that's what it used to be
game, yeah. Give the other sports their due, because they're never going to grow their audience if you're the number one leader in sports and you're not promoting the other, outside of the NFL and the NBA. Then they're not going to ever grow on their own. So help with that. So I would say that 2, more original content in terms of not talking head stuff. Like we know, it's the same topics over and over. Get original in terms of what you're going to talk about. Like have some open-ended discussions about other things than the normal stuff that we all know. So I would say those 2 things. And then 3, find a way to that's like, that could be the home of so much. Like, can you imagine having a day that they promote, I don't know, like on a Saturday where it's like, hey, stay with us all day long. You're going to get it. Like, cause there's certain months of the year that all 4 sports are happening. Can you imagine a day in late September where you can watch, or October, you can watch the NHL, the NBA, the NFL, and a Major League Baseball game all within one day? Just spread the wealth, I think would be the way to go. So I would have some days where you would see multiple sports on the same channel instead of having to go find ESPN 11 to find what you want to watch.
Oh, I agree. The one thing that I would do if I was deemed in charge, well, I would do a couple things, everything you said. But in addition, when you think about it, ABC Wide World of Sports, CBS Sports Spectacular, what they would do is they would clump together exactly what you're talking about. So like on Saturdays or Sundays, I forget which, doesn't really matter. In the afternoon, you would see the weird sports. When I use the word weird, like stock car racing, like you mentioned, maybe even volleyball. You saw those other things. And you knew every Saturday that you were going to watch something like that. During during the thoroughbred season, you would know that you would watch that. It was coming on. There it was. In the winter, you'd watch skiing. They need to do that. I would love to have a day where on a Sunday, for example, during this time of year, you had, like you said, football, baseball. You'd have basketball, you have hockey in one day. You can do that.
Yeah.
Sports Center, instead of showing the same one 6 times in a row, should be 3 times, and it should be 2 hours and 90 minutes.
Yeah, It, and even in that 60-minute show that you see several times, they will re-show some of the highlights from the beginning instead of covering more material. They'll just repeat themselves. So in a 6-hour block, instead of seeing each thing 6 times, you're really seeing it 12 times.
Yeah.
So, so that is that. So I want to thank each of you guys for joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun having you guys in here. It makes it so much more fun when you guys are engaged with us. And we are just over 3 months away from our big Christmas extravaganza event. So keep that date on your calendar. Again, we'll be live this Thursday night, 2 nights from now at 8:30 as well. So you want to make sure you are here for that. But as it goes for today, episode 108, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the evening. And we will see you on Thursday and see you around the ballpark. Bye, guys.